Hello and welcome. Today we are talking with Kathy Pine, who is a speech instructor at the local college, and we are going to be discussing what it means to be a good professor.
Thanks, it's great to be here.
I can't help but notice how young you look.
I understand, and don't worry about it. On more than one occasion I've been told that I look like a student. Usually when I enter the classroom I get a lot of looks and a lot of confusion about why I'm standing at the front of the room writing my name on the board.
How does this perception affect you with your students and gaining their respect?
The truth is that my students relate to me on several levels. I have students that recognize my clothing from the stores that they shop at, and they like my style. And then I have other students who are older, and they're a little bit more hesitant to take me at face value.
I can see how it can be really difficult learning from somebody who's years younger than you. It's hard to trust that they have the life experience or can really share meaningful information.
It is true, but I've always gained the respect of my students through my knowledge of the course material. I've never had any disciplinary problems in my class, and it's not because I'm young or inexperienced, because I've been there too. It's simply because I establish an environment of respect where nobody feels like they don't belong there and like they don't have anything to contribute.
So there has been no downside to being a young female professor in the collegiate world.
The most opposition I've actually had in terms of my age has been from faculty members. Members who, when I walk into a faculty area, they ask me if I need help or if I'm looking for someone. And I just want to turn to them and say, why would you even talk to a student this way? It just perpetuates the idea that most faculty treat students like they're children instead of recognizing that they're adults. I would never talk to a colleague that way, and I would never talk to a student that way. And yet, I always get these short little remarks from faculty members.
I never thought about it. I guess there is an idea of what a professor is like. So there has been no downside to being a young female professor in the collegiate world.
There's little growth for new faculty members, especially if you're younger and you have new ideas.
I know most colleges are traditional, and they're built on these same fundamentals that you seem to disagree with. What do you think should be done differently?
I recently read an article in the Wall Street Journal that looked at how many faculty are really only educated in one specific area, and it's not outside of academia. The main purpose of the article was to convey that many faculty members, while they're able to teach their core subject, are not in a position to help students sort out their lives. And that's what colleges should be doing.
You don't believe students should be taught using the same tried and true methods that have been used for years, that faculty who have been teaching for 20 years are maybe doing something wrong?
I do believe that there are older faculty who do reinvent themselves and bring something new every semester to their classrooms. And they're really the ones that still have a passion for teaching. And then you also have faculty who have been teaching from the same notes for 20 years. I believe we need to start making an adjustment and looking at our students in terms of what they need, not necessarily what's easiest for us.
What do you think makes a good teacher?
Somebody that makes learning fun for the students. Many students determine if they're going to like a class based on if it's required or not. And a lot of teachers automatically give up if they're teaching one of those required classes. They automatically assume defeat. Well, I've never done that. I've always tried to make it fun and inviting for my students. And a lot of the time, I do get those evaluations that say, you know what, I thought this was going to be terrible, but I actually had a lot of fun. And they usually thank me for that experience. I think one of the most important things that a teacher can do is establish the right dialogue with their students. If the student really sees that they can come to you and ask questions and they understand that there's a shared goal for them to do well in the class, they usually benefit from it. Too many times I think teachers don't see themselves as their students see them. Overall, I really want my students to have the same opinion of me as I have of myself, because it's important to me that they see the real me when I'm teaching them.
Interesting. Well, you've given us a lot to think about. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. We've really learned a lot. Next time we're going to be welcoming the dean of the college, and he's going to be talking about how important it is to make a good first impression. Thank you.